Alright, let's get at this. I'm not looking forward to this run at all, but we're going to play Stealth B today. And maybe we'll do better than dying on the first jump. Like, maybe we can die on the second jump, and that can be like a huge, doubling of our capacity with this stupid fucking ship. So, this is the last we've already rolled. This will be the third stealth ship that we've rolled. I'm not going to go into a big preamble again about why this ship is so bad. If you would like to see that, go and watch the last video that I played with Stealth B, which is the last run of the previous streak, in which this ship killed me on the first jump. I'm going to this time be trying to do some of the other early, I was doing the O2 venting trick on the previous run, but I wasn't relying on micropausing and the glaive detoggle. This time I am going to do that. This will mean that the early battles are probably going to be excruciatingly slow, because you have to take them excruciatingly slow. That's one of the things that comes with playing Stealth B on hard. Let's start. Do not leave the Zoltan. If you leave the Zoltan in weapons, the glaive depower trick doesn't actually work. I would accuse the developers of doing that deliberately, but actually the game was designed before hard mode existed and smart targeting wasn't a thing then. Well, we've got 3 different fights to go to, none of which have any hostile environments. That's good. Maybe we can get, a reasonable amount of scrap from those, assuming that we don't just die on the first one. We need to vent our O2 down. I think if I vent all of these rooms, it's down low enough that if I then do this and this, yeah, that vents it to below 50, which is where we want it to be. You want to get it below 50, but only just below 50, because you want to have oxygen in case you take a hit on oxygen. It's important, even when you're doing the glaive depower trick, it's important to do the O2 venting. I guess I should explain rapidly how these work, just for the benefit of anyone who didn't watch the previous Stealth B run or the videos I did after it showing the trick. So, if you were to just go into a fight and you neither vented your O2 below 50%, nor did you do the glaive depower trick, there would be a, I believe, 19.6% chance the enemy would fire at weapons on hard, because many of their shots they just randomly target at any room in your ship, so the percentage chance is just equal to how many rooms there are on their ship. But 25% of their shots are also smart targeted at specific systems. Without going over all of them like I did the last time we played this ship, by default the only 2 systems that can be smart targeted are weapons and cloaking. Those are both utterly critical systems. You don't want to take hits on either of those. Now you can cloak to reduce the risk mostly, but that only gets you up to 80%. The last time we played this ship, the very first enemy that we fought fired their flak at weapons and hit it twice through cloak at 20% chance for them. We had an 80% evade, it just didn't work, and then they proceeded to target the room multiple more times. So if you want to minimize the odds of these 2 systems getting hit by any means possible. If we vent O2 to below 50%, as we will do here, I guess we need to actually turn the O2 off and let it get below 50 as well. I thought it would do that immediately. I'm not sure why it didn't. When O2 is below 50%, it adds oxygen to the list of systems that can be smart targeted. So instead of there being 25% of shots going at one of these 2 rooms, so that would be 12.5%, instead 25% will go at one of these 3 rooms, which reduces the risks of each individual room being hit to, I believe, is that going to be 8.33 recurring? So that's a nice drop of about 4%. So if you do that, the chance of your weapons being targeted in particular is only about 14.8%. Then finally, the thing you can do to remove weapons from the smart targeting list altogether is you depower the glaive beam. Now, obviously, depowering the glaive beam is extremely dangerous because you lose charge very quickly. You lose charge 8 times faster than you gain it. So what you need to do is you need to depower it very, very precisely. You have to dash your weapons person to sensors so that you can see the charge. You do these micropauses, which is when if you are on pause and you then hit the spacebar and the middle mouse button, it will like advance the game by a single frame. You can sort of demonstrate this by having this guy run to weapons, and you can see how little the game is advancing each time I do this, and that allows some very fine control over how much you're advancing. If you depower the glaive at precisely the right moment and leave it depowered for only a couple of frames when the enemy is targeting, they won't see the weapon as if when they make the decision to target, the weapons aren't currently being powered, they remove that from the list of smart targeted systems. So then their smart targeting can only be oxygen or cloaking. That's a significant improvement. That means your chance of your weapons being targeted are only 6.5%, which is much, much, much better. You still can have it happen, but it hugely reduces the odds. And then, of course, you have 80% evade. So really, the chance that your weapons will be targeted and hit are going to be much, much lower. Now, the reason that you want to do the glaive depower trick and still get the O2 below 50% is if you don't vent your O2 below 50% and you do the depower trick, this means every single smart targeted shot will go at your cloaking, and that's bad. It's especially bad if, say, they have a mini beam, which you can't dodge because the mini beam could hit cloaking and drag through into weapons. So what we want is to redirect a bunch of shots at our oxygen system. Some of the reduction by doing the glaive depower trick, some of the reduction in the percent chance of that being hit, it comes at the expense of cloaking, and it's inevitable that there will be some extent to which that happens, but you want to reduce it as much as possible. They are the two most critical systems on your ship. And if you ever put your Zoltan in your weapons room, the glaive depower trick doesn't work because they target it based on whether your weapons are powered, and having any Zoltan power in the room counts as that being powered, even if it's not enough to actually charge the weapon. So you don't want to move them in there, and you need to be careful if you ever send the Zoltan in there to help fix things, because that will put it on the smart target priority list. So it increases the odds. If you've ever had the experience of having your weapons get hit, you send your Zoltan in there desperately to try to repair the weapon, and then it gets fired at again. If you were playing on hard, that wasn't you just imagining things. That literally does make it more likely, if you send the Zoltan in to try to repair things, that they will fire at the weapons again. Anyway, let's actually get at this. Let's just make sure that when I want to make sure that when I remove the O2 from those two rooms, that it will immediately drop me to below 50%. That's not as immediate as I would like it to be. I guess that means I need to open that room as well. But that doesn't vent instantly. I'm hesitant to vent this room because if I take a hit on oxygen, I want to be able to run my pilot in there, and there'll be a time limit before they suffocate. Well, we'll jump into battles with our O2 just above 50%, and then we will vent it down. But enough stalling, let's actually get to this. So we're going to try to hit these battles. The important thing with Stealth B, if you get 50, because the danger basically is your glaive beam takes 25 seconds to charge. That's reduced to 22.5 seconds rather, because you've got somebody in weapons room that takes 10% charge off. You can cloak for 10 seconds, so you could cloak at the beginning of the battle potentially, but that's still 12.5 seconds, and that's longer than basically all weapons you see at the beginning of the game. So once you get 50 scrap, you can upgrade your cloaking. That means the cloak lasts 15 seconds instead of 10. You cloak for 15 seconds at the beginning of battle. you then only have 7.5 seconds before you fire the glade beam. That is faster than basically everything you see. So that makes a huge, huge difference in terms of how safe you are. But you have to actually survive long enough, which on hard, on average, that's going to take 4 combats to get enough scrap to do that. And that's a lot of time in which you can face an enemy with a mini beam, or an enemy that hits you through the cloak, or an enemy with an offensive drone, or something like that. Or an enemy with a Zoltan shield, although there are tricks for dealing with those. Anyway, let's jump out, and let's face this first fight. We want to be very careful about which fights we take. We don't have a choice but to take this fight. We have to. This one's not too terrible. I don't know what missile that is. It could be a Leto missile or an Artemis missile. It's probably an Artemis missile. I'm hoping it's a Leto. That Ion Blast, let me just look up again how long that Ion Blast will take. Let's see. I think it's 8 seconds. Because we need to dash our weapons guide to the sensors, but we want to do it absolutely at the last moment it possibly can. Yeah, it takes 8 seconds for that to charge. They don't have anyone manning the weapon system, so that will fire at 8 seconds. We need to be wary even of ion weapons, because even an ion firing at our weapons room, if it hits, will depower our glade beam, and that's a disaster. Okay, good. We're paused at the start of this battle. When I unpause, I think I want to count to I think I can count to 6 and then dash my weapons person to sensors. When I was facing I did a lot of training after my last loss against the ship that killed us, which had a manned heavy laser. A manned heavy laser takes 8.1 seconds, and I found that dashing at 6 seconds worked. So I think we can do the same thing against this Ion Blast. It's slightly slower, but anyway, let's go. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And you need to be very careful when you're micropausing. If you fuck up, if you say hit the spacebar and don't hit the middle mouse button at the same time, you can't just unpause the game, and then that's going to completely screw things up. So take it very slowly. Okay, so the Ion Blast is not fully spun up. I think that's a Leto missile. It looks to me as if that charge time is not that far behind this. The Artemis missile that the AI gets is a little bit slower. So I'm hoping that's only a Leto missile, and I think it is. So what we now need to do is we need to micropause until the Ion Blast is all the way ready to fire. Not there yet. I've had to switch keyboards to do this. My normal keyboard I can't micropause on because the spacebar is too unreliable. But this one does. Okay, so that is fully charged. It takes a few moments between, a few micropauses between when you do this and when it actually fires. It will sort of decide at the moment that it sort of drains down. With a weapon like a heavy laser or something, you can tell because it's like the moment it turns green, that's when they target. And if your weapon is depowered at that moment, I know that I need to advance this a few more frames. I haven't practiced against an Ion Blast, so I don't know how many more frames I need to advance this by. I'm going to do it by 5. I know on the heavy laser you can do it by about 7 or 8, but let's micropause this. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Do I want to do it 1 or 2 more frames? Because like what you could do here is you depower this, and then if it's still depowered when it actually targets, this will not be on the smart target list. And then you just keep micropausing, you retarget it, and then you need to do the same thing for the missile. Gonna advance it 1 more. Now we'll depower. The danger is if you depower it for too long, they'll get a second shot off before you get to shoot, and then that might actually get targeted at your weapon. I mean, the good thing about this fight is there's sort of a maximum damage we can take in this, because eventually they'll just run out of missiles. I think we depowered too early. Okay, this is the moment at which they're targeting. So if they smart target here, they cannot target my weapon. They can still target my weapons here because they could just target it randomly. You know, there's a certain percentage chance, 6.5%, that they're just, let's shoot at a random room, roll randomly, weapons. However, they cannot, if they are smart targeting here, they can only smart target my oxygen or my cloaking. They cannot smart target both of them. Let's advance by 1 frame, and then let's repower this. The weapon is animating, so it's too late at this point. They can't, like, target my weapons from the fact that it's powered. So, we have to keep micropausing forward and then do the same thing against the missile. I think that we have enough time that we can do that against the missile before the ion strikes our ship. I think. Because obviously the ion will be traveling towards us while we do this at this microscopic rate. Okay, that missile is charged all the way up. I haven't practiced against missiles either. I mean, I think they probably all take about the same amount of time. But I'm going to be more conservative here. So let's advance. Let's micropause 6 times and then we'll depower again. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Yeah, they do all basically take the same amount of time. So I've depowered too early here. Okay, there. It's targeting now. Let's advance it 1 frame. Repower the glaive, cloak, and run you back to weapons. And yeah, there. They just targeted random stuff. So, and that is only a Leto missile. Good. There is an argument to be made that you could run in this fight. If we let them run out of missiles, we could, and potentially we could do that by doing swipes that damage weapons a little bit, let them repair it. If we could run them out of missiles, we could grind max evade against this ion blast. And there is an argument for doing that. The reason I'm not going to is there's a risk that, say, the missile could set a fire. Because, like, at the moment, there's a possibility we could take up to 10 damage from the missile. It should have between 8 to 10 missiles, this ship. But if it started setting fires, we could take more damage than that. With our O2 too low, there's a chance it could hit our oxygen, and we could die of suffocation, that sort of stuff. Now, this ship, of course, has a Zoltan shield, so we're not going to one-shot it. The way that you want to fire a glaive beam against a ship with a Zoltan shield is fire it in such a way, and we want to actually have the beam be as close to straight as possible. I'm not generally good at doing things that are straight, but we want to fire it in such a way, we want to the first couple of ticks to remove the Zoltan shield, and then the final tick to actually hit the weapons room and do 2 damage, because that will depower both of these weapons. Okay, now we can stop actually messing around. Also, let's power our O2. If we've done this correctly, we should get the Glade Beam shot off before they get the Ion Blast, but at worst it will go off like when they fire that. Yeah, they just got that off, but it's fine. Even if they hit our Glade Beam here, we're going to have cloaking back by the next time they'd be able to fire it. And they fired it at something irrelevant anyway. So our next Glade Beam shot will kill these guys. If we just cloak now, they won't get this charged up. So let's do that. And we go. So, we get 16 scrap, we have actually won a fight with Stealth B, and we only took 1 damage. That's not too bad. We are 1/3 of the way to being sort of safe. I don't know how long that fight took, I don't have the heart to look. Everyone back to your positions. Let's vent all this stuff again. Let's get our O2 up to like 55% so that we can a little bit more rapidly get it below 50. That'll do. Okay. So, second fight. This distress beacon might be a request for fuel, which would actually be quite good because you know I'd love to get fuel for scrap for fuel, but we're gonna take this second fight anyway. What have we got here? So this fight has a mini beam. That's the worst weapon to see when you're playing Stealth B, because a mini beam you can't dodge, and it's too fast for you to cloak it. So it will 100% hit you, and if it's smart targets, there's a very high chance that it will hit either your weapon or your cloak and then drag through into the weapon. They also have a heavy laser, and I also think this layout is the way you want to generally use the Glade Beam is you want to start it in shields. Against a ship with 1 shield, it will do 2 points of damage to shields, take down a shield bubble, and then all the further ticks of the Glade Beam do 3 damage. That's enough to one-shot most enemies. It isn't necessarily the case against this, albeit you can, against a lot of enemies, just start it in shields. You don't need to target the weapons, you just start it in shields, drag through, and kill by hitting 3 other rooms. Because, you know, if we did that, as long as we hit 4 rooms, it doesn't matter, and it starts in shields, it doesn't matter what 4 rooms they are. We'd do 2, and then 3 lots of 3. That kills them. The danger here is that there's a considerable possibility that they could mini-beam our weapons or our cloaking. The way we would want to fight this, if we did do it, is we'd want to dash our weapons human to sensors before they fire the heavy laser, toggle the heavy laser, then cloak the heavy laser when it fires, run the human back to weapons, then once the cloak is over, run the Zoltan, or actually we wouldn't even need to wait until the cloak was over, just once the heavy laser shot went by, we could run the Zoltan to sensor, use them to then do the depower trick against the mini beam. But there's still a considerable chance that they hit weapons or that they drag through into this. They're offering us a bribe, but on the other hand, if we take this fight, there's a chance for a double scrap reward. I wish we could look at the map to see what else we've got upcoming before we make this decision, but we can't. Let me take a look. I'm pretty sure that a lot of the recommendation is to, if you see a ship with a dangerous looking ship and it's bribing you, to just take the bribe. But I'm not sure. Fighting only gives you a 40% chance of an additional scrap reward. Now, while that's true, it should be noted this 8 scrap, that's a low scrap payout. Whereas if we take the fight, even if we don't get an additional reward, we'll get a medium scrap payout, which is 12 to 19. I wonder if there's anyone online who will rapidly express an opinion about whether or not I should take this fight. I'm going to give that a minute and see whether or not people have any opinions. My strong inclination here is to just take the bribe. Because, you know, it gets me... We'll basically then be halfway towards cloaking. The thing about this, though, is if we take it and it is a double reward, it's obviously amazing. A double reward early on Stealth B is like the best thing that can happen, because it just hugely reduces the time it takes for you to get to Cloaking 3. The other thing about a double reward is, about taking this fight, is... or about not taking the fight, there is danger in not taking the fight, because, if you don't take the fight, it just increases the odds that before you get Cloaking 3, you encounter something really dangerous, because it reduces the number of, increases rather the time before you get Cloaking 3. If we take this, we'll be at 24 scrap. That would require, on average, 2 medium scrap payouts to get up to 50 scrap. If we take the fight and win and get a medium reward, we'll get between 12 to 19 scrap. On average, that would get us 15.5. If we do that, we still need 2 medium scrap payouts. So that tends me towards, it doesn't really speed me up. It only speeds me up if we get the double reward. If we get the double reward, it speeds it up enormously. But just going from this 8 scrap to, 15, even if we get like 19, I mean, if we got 19, which is the maximum you can get from a medium reward in Sector 1 on hard, that would mean we could potentially do it with just one more fight. One of the dangers with this ship as well is you can just be too cautious if you dodge too many early fights, because you don't just need Cloaking 3 on this ship. You do also need to scale your offense up in time for Sector 3, and there's a risk that if you dodge too many fights early on, you can end up in a situation where you can't do that, and that also kills you. It just kills you at a different time. Let me think. Specific weapon tactics. I'm looking through Mike Hopley's invaluable guide. So he says optimal play against unmanned heavy laser and mini beam is cloaking the heavy laser without toggling, then toggling the mini beam perfectly. More forgiving play is doing a regular toggle for both. I would probably do a regular toggle for both, because trying to not toggle either of them sounds very, very dangerous. And expecting me to toggle perfectly is not really likely. Okay, I think we're just taking this bribe. I really, really hope that this is fuel for scrap, and that we just get, or that this is a fuel request and we get scrap. Okay, it isn't. However, we get scrap for this without having to do anything. That's very good. This might be fuel for scrap. Let's take distress over this fight. We probably don't go to that quest. It's in a bad location. The exit in this sector, by the way, sucks. I haven't really talked about it because we've been too busy dealing with the many other things about Stealth B that suck, but it's way over to the left. Okay, unfortunately this is a fight. Well, this is like the same fight we had before. Okay, so we once again want to go for... Actually, I can't tell. Is that an ion stunner? That might be an ion stunner. If that's an ion stunner, we need to slightly change how long we go. 1. Okay, that's an ion stunner. Ion stunner, I think, takes 9 seconds instead of... Yeah, the ion... Actually, it takes 10 seconds. In which case, we probably need to be more worried about this missile. If that's a Lido missile, it's 9 seconds for it to go. Lido missile takes... Let's find... Yeah, Lido missile takes 9 seconds. Since there's a possibility that this is a Lido missile, it could also be an Artemis missile, I don't know. But since there's a possibility it could be a Lido missile, we need to act as if it is. So the dash time for that, I think, is 7 seconds. I have already advanced it by a little bit, so I think I'm going to count to 6 here. I might do 6 and then a fast count for 7, and that'll be sort of like 6.5. That's the way. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Get you there. Now we start venting. Okay, we're below 50% oxygen, that's good, and now we start micropausing. Okay, that's an Artemis missile. If it were a Lido missile, it would be nearer to firing. That's annoying, since it means I've dashed a little bit too early, but I didn't have a way of knowing which it is. I suppose strictly optimal play with this might be to start with the Zoltan in there, so that you immediately see the weapon charge time, and then you can run back, but... So we just micropause until one of these weapons is ready to fire. I think these weapons actually fire at the same instant, so that's useful. We can just toggle them both in one go. We don't have to do 2 different toggles. Yeah. Okay, so we're going to advance it 8 times, and then we toggle. 1, nope. You can tell when I've done it properly by the pause briefly flickering. So, that's not it. 1, nope. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, depower, 1, Oh crap, I did it too early. It wasn't actually already powered. Okay. Now I have to do it to 8. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 1, 2. There we go. Advance it 1 frame. There we go. They've started animating. Do this, get you back there. We might end up taking 2 of each of these now because I messed up, but whatever. We can see they didn't target weapons on either of them. As with the last time, we're going to disable... Actually, we're not going to disable the ion here, so we're in some danger. We're going to disable the missile, but the ion will remain. So this is quite a bit more dangerous than the last time we did this. I could try toggling the ion every single time, but I don't think that's actually feasible. I think we just need to keep our FTL charging. Okay, good. I think they'll get 1 more off, then we will pre-cloak. We might even be able to active cloak this. In fact, yeah, we can active cloak that. So there's a chance that they're targeting my weapons. It's 14.8%, but we have 80% evade from cloaking. So the odds of us taking a hit on weapons here is only 2.6%. And as long as we don't have that happen, we will win the fight with our next Glade Beam swipe. As it happens, they weren't even targeting weapons, so it's fine. Now, please give me 18 or 19 scrap. That's a high roll, but please do. God damn it. Well, if we'd taken that fight where we where we took a bribe, we'd now have enough scrap to upgrade our cloaking. So this is why I said it is a risk to not do that. We definitely can't do a solar flare fight, so we'll go up towards this. Let's get our O2 refilled a bit more. Get it to about 55. $53 will do. We can't explore an asteroid field. This can create a fight in an asteroid field. And a fight in an asteroid field when you're playing Stealth B is obviously a complete disaster, so let's not do that. We'll go here, and as long as we win this fight, we will get enough scrap. Okay, so timing-wise in this fight, basic laser I think is it 10 seconds or 9? I think it's 10. Although it's manned, so actually it'd be less than that anyway. Laser, basic laser, yeah, it's 10 seconds. Now there's a possibility that that thing is a Lido missile, in which case that would be 9 seconds, reduced to 8.1. So the sensor's dash timing, I will make 6 seconds. So, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Turn the O2 off, and you go there. Yeah, it looks like that is... Or maybe that is an Artemis missile. They look kind of like they're going to fire at the same time, but anyway, let's do this tedious nonsense, and let's do it right this time. One of the things that's just so frustrating about this ship, like, we misplayed the last fight. We did the toggle wrong. but it didn't matter, we were fine. So much of it is out of your hands. Like, most of the time, doing this stuff that I'm doing here, that is very tedious, doesn't make much of a difference. It's just in the 1% of the time that it does make a difference, it literally could be the difference between you living and dying. So you kind of need to do it, even though it's very, very irritating. That's not all the way up. That looks like it is, but it isn't. Crap, maybe it is. It's depower now. Okay, it wasn't. I was right with my first thought. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Let's make it 9. Can I make it 10? 10. Now I'll depower. 1. Yeah, 10 actually is a good count. So they target sort of on this frame. And now they have targeted. So let's cloak. Get you back to weapons. Yeah, see there, they targeted. If they were they may have been random shots, or they may have been smart targeted shots. But regardless, if either of them were smart targeted, they didn't target my my weapons. And now we glaive beam and crush these fools. One shot of the glaive beam will completely destroy this ship. Okay, we have enough to do this. But we need to think first, because there's a store right next to us. I think there's almost no chance that anything in a store could ever make us not want to do that. I think I'm probably not even going to go to the store. It depends. Like, if that had been an asteroid field, I would have gone to the store in preference to this. But since it isn't... So, now what we can do, we're still going to O2 vent for a little bit, just for security, but what we can now do against most enemies is at the beginning of the fight we do this, we cloak for 15 seconds, then the glaive beam will go off. The cloak will give us 15 seconds, the glaive beam will take another 7.5 to fire. That's faster than just about any weapon we're going to fight early on. So it means the only dangerous fights now are against, say, either enemies with Zoltan shields and level 3 weapons, or enemies that have like offensive drones, or obviously fights in asteroid fields, but we will use our long range scanners to avoid those. So now what we want to do is we want to get 80 scrap, because the best thing that you can do to scale this ship is get hacking. Because the problem with this ship, I know you might think that what you want to do now is get shields, and that is certainly a viable play. So we would like to actually get 125, so if we get to a store we can get, and it has shields but no hacking, we have to buy shields. But you would prefer hacking, because if you get hacking, you can get it up to level 2, power that, and then in sectors 3 and 4, when you're fighting ships that have 2 or even 3 shield bubbles, you hack the shields every single time, you pre-cloak, your glaive beam keeps killing, that buys you more time. The danger with buying shields is, sure, you've got shields and a long cloak, but your glaive beam isn't great against enemies with 2 shield bubbles, because it'll only do 1 damage to shields at first. If you're lucky and they don't have the buffer upgrade, that will take down a shield bubble and you do 2 to each room. That's still pretty good. But if they have the buffer upgrade, your glaive beam's only doing 1 point of damage per room. That's not really enough to disable weapons. And if they have like missiles and stuff, fast missiles, sure, you can cloak that once. You can't cloak it many times. You're just going to end up taking loads of scratch damage. Whereas getting hacking and using it that way. And the problem is scaling the offense in any other way is quite tricky to do, because if you want to bring another weapon online, it's quite expensive. You have to acquire the weapon and acquire the upgrades necessary to use it. Like, the best success I've ever had with this ship is if I'm able to, say, get, I don't know, a burst laser 1 drop, and I can swap for, like, the glaive beam out for, say, flak and burst 1, or something like that. I've had good success with that, but that requires you to get very lucky. You aren't usually going to be that fortunate. I think we only have 2 jumps before this exit. Actually, we have 3, but I don't think we can actually take 3. Yeah, this sucks. We can go, like, here and there, and if that's a hazard beacon, we'll just need to go to the exit, so we won't even have that. And there's no guarantee there's anything here, but what can I do about that? I think we actually, as far as I know, offensive drones don't care about smart targeting. They just target things at random. So if we were to jump into a fight with an offensive drone, having O2 below 50 wouldn't help us at all. So actually, let's get our O2 up. We want to be able to get it to below 50 if something goes wrong. But considering that in most fights we're going to immediately do this and that at the start of the fight, the O2 will start draining down anyway. So let's keep it a little bit above 50% in case it becomes relevant. Okay, there's nothing there. Go here. This is a really cheap upgrade, but like, we've made 62 scrap in this sector. This is really, really bad. I don't think I can afford this. Like, it's actually quite helpful to have this. It gives you blue options, and more importantly, on this ship in particular, it means you could keep charging the FTL if you take 1 damage to piloting. But we've just made so little money that we need to turn it down, and it completely sucks. Okay, we get a blue option here, which will give us a fight. Unfortunately, it's a fight against a ship that's highly probably going to have offensive drones. Yep, it does. So we can't actually do this right off the bat here. There's a chance that if we do that, when we come out of cloak, this aims at my weapons and it hits. So we still need to do fiddly annoying stuff in this fight. Looks to me like this is aiming at this little cubby hole room here, so who cares? We'll let it shoot at that. Beam shot like this will end the fight. It's just a matter of whether or not they take stuff out in time. That could be aiming at my cloaking. It could be aiming at sensors. It's hard to tell, but I don't. The possibility of it aiming at cloaking is not acceptable, so I'm going to cloak now. And now we just really need to desperately hope that in the time between our cloak running out and the glaive beam going off, it doesn't shoot at our weapons. Okay, it didn't. It shot at a random room that doesn't matter. No, we're not accepting that. We desperately need more scrap. Yep, so we get 14 scrap out of that. So we've survived and we've got cloaking up. But we made, I think, 76 scrap in that entire sector. Yeah, we made 76 scrap in that sector. That fucking sucks. We really, really need to be making more scrap than that when you're playing such a bad ship. But what can we do? Like, there's more fights we could take. There's a store, but we can't do that. We just have to keep going. This was really not a good choice as well. NG sectors are so hit and miss. I mean, Uncharted Nebulas are also... I've said that Uncharted Nebulas are not as bad as people say they are, but we can't risk this. There could potentially be 0 stores there. We need a store to get something. We need, by the end of Sector 2, to have hacking or shields or a weapon upgrade of some kind. We need one of those things. So we need to gamble here that this NG sector is a good NG sector. And if it isn't, then we're kind of screwed. Well, we've got an immediate store. We don't have enough scrap for it. Let's hit some of these other jumps and just hope we get some stuff. Like, a nice drop of like a whole repair drone would be huge, and then we can just sell that. We'll side with the fugitive, take damage that we can't do anything about. As long as at least it didn't hit weapons or cloaking. Either of those options has a chance to be damaged, by the way. Oh crap, these people have hacking. That's very, very bad if they hack our weapons or our cloaking. Fortunately they didn't, but if they'd hacked either of those, it would have been extremely bad. Let's cloak. Fortunately now the mini beam is not so dangerous to us. We will cloak and get it off before this. This swipe doesn't kill, but it doesn't matter because it will completely take their weapons down. And obviously their mantises aren't fixing things anytime soon. We can also do a trick here. Now that our cloaking is over, we'll run the Zoltan into that room, then run him back to piloting. That pulls the power out. Oh, it did actually blow them up on the first swipe. I kind of wanted to not do that, because then we could have, if we had not killed them on the first swipe, we would have got an extra tick of weapon training. Another thing about this ship that sucks, by the way, is you gain skill more slowly than literally any other ship in the game. Because you can't let enemies shoot at you when you're not cloaking, and you're generally only firing the glade beam once a fight. So you get skill very, very, very slowly. Let's go here, here, and then we'll decide whether we want to go to the store or not based on whether we have 80 scrap. Okay, we just got something to sell. Potentially. Now, upgrading to use that with the glade beam is obviously not really feasible. We would need to go to weapons 7. We can't possibly afford that. I can see theoretical circumstances where we might, if we got, say, a heavy laser, we might choose charge 2 and heavy laser instead of the glade beam, because it doesn't take a fucking eternity to fire those. But probably we're going to try to sell that. Now, the problem is we can sell that for 35 scrap. That's enough to get us to hacking, but not enough to get us to shields. And the odds that we get enough to get, you know, to get within striking distance of shields, to get to within distance of shields with that, we would need to have 90 scrap. There's no way we get 40 scrap from this beacon. Let's go here and see. Do we have 2 jumps before this? We do. So we could potentially go here, here, and there. The other alternative would be to go here, here, there, and then backtrack. But I don't see that that's advantageous. Now the danger is if our fleet pursuit gets doubled at one of these jumps, obviously we'd then not be able to go to the store. And also there's a possibility that some of these are just empty. But how likely is it that we could get to 125 in time for this store? We have 85 right now. Like, we would need both of these jumps to be hot. We would need to either get a really good drop to sell, like a whole repair drone, or we would need both of them to be high scrap rewards, which that's definitely not going to happen. So I think we need to play this on the assumption that we will get hacking if it's there, but if there's shields but not hacking, we will just need to keep passing and keep going. So in that case, I'm going to dodge this and go to this fight. Well, they've disabled my engines. That doesn't really matter enormously because we're just going to pre-cloak. No, don't auto-fire. Cloak. Put you in there. Don't run the Zoltan out too early, though, because if you do that, it will pull power out of cloaking when you actually want to use the cloaking. Run them out when the cloaking ends. Let's also vent down to below 50. Now we can run you back. I don't think they'll get to fire these weapons at all, but... yeah, we got 8 scrap from that. Well, we're gonna need to go... we need to go out through this beacon. We can't possibly take a solar flare. It could just take the glade beam out before it fires. This is unfortunate since it forces us onto this lower path. Let's go to this store and please have hacking. No hacking. They have shields, we can't get them. They don't have any weapons either, so it's not even like we have the option to respec. We just bypass this store. We need to keep our scrap. I can't even really easily afford to spend on repairs because, like, there's a possibility we might need to switch to this at some point. I don't want to just sell it unless it's going to get us something. If we would somehow get a safe fight, we could use it to get max weapon skill, which would be really, really helpful. But obviously, getting a safe fight with Stealth B is not something that happens too often. We will one-shot this. You go there. We can't give them anything. That's 2 fights in a row where we've earned 8 scrap. That's fucking rubbish. So we had a good start to this sector, but since then it's been terrible. Go here. And there's nothing there either. I think we need to go this top path just to see more stuff. I mean, this sees a lot in the lower part. I suppose not going here really just passes up this jump, because we can't get to this one regardless. So actually this sees this corner. If there's nothing good down in that corner, we can then go up like this and see that back bit. The downside is if there's a store at one of these 2 beacons, and we go here right away, we have effectively 101 scrap right now by selling the charge 1. That's not charge 2. That's not enough to get shields. If we go here, and get scrap at both of them, then we would have enough. But that's kind of a, that's a large assumption. And if we don't get enough, or there aren't stores there, we would then be trying to jump up here. We'd be here in 4 jumps. That's enough to get there, but we then wouldn't have, I think, any more jumps in the sector. Yeah, we have 5 jumps. We would have 1 more. I think we just need to gamble on that. And we got a free weapon. Oh my god, we got a free flak. I don't know how we're going to play this. I don't know how on earth we're going to play this. We could theoretically sell both of these for shields. That seems like a bad play, but I don't know how else we would do it. The other alternative is we could try to sell glaive for shields. Glaive sells for 47, and then we could get our weapons up to 5 and use flak and charge 2 together. I'm kind of tempted by that. Now, ships that teleport are quite awkward, because if they board you in weapons, you lose the faster charge time. But we can one-shot this ship. You go in there. Okay, we'll leave the Zoltan there to distract this guy. Kind of tempting to take that because we're low on fuel, but we're also really low on scrap and we need more than 9. Yeah, 13 is better. We have enough now that we could sell, like, either the Glaive Beam or the Charge 2 to get shields. That's dependent on us finding a store, though. Okay, there is a store here, so we're going store there. I wish these were reversed. But we gotta do it. And there are no systems for sale here. Great. Fucking fantastic. Well, we don't want any of this crap. I think I'm gonna buy some repairs. Well, we're going to hold our scrap and jump into Sector 3. Sector 3 is a green sector, so we've got a reasonable chance that it'll be like Civilian or NG and be able to find an immediate store. And if we can do that, we might be able to still get... Okay, no offensive drones, good. So we can pre-cloak this. Kind of ditched the venting the O2 to below 50% now because we should be able to pre-cloak everything, but we might need to go back to it in Sector 3 depending on what goes on. Stealth B is such a frustrating shit because it doesn't really need that much to win. Like, the Glaive Beam is actually a decent endgame weapon, and, you know, if you can just get some upgrades, you can beat the flagship with relatively small amounts of scrap. The problem is all the scrap that you need is front-loaded at the very, very beginning of the run, and we haven't got that so far. Okay, so let's go to the exit. Our amount of scrap in this sector hasn't actually been that high, but we've had 2 weapon drops, and one of them is one of the best weapons in the game, so we have to ignore this. So we're jumping out. Both of these are potentially 3 stores. Let me look at this quickly. We're probably going to go Civilian here. Yeah, Civilian and NG are both 2 to 3 stores. So there's no greater or lesser chance to find stores. We're going to a red sector in 4 no matter where we go, because there's just a wall of red there. So let's go Civilian. And please show me an immediate store. No. Okay, so we need to think about what sort of upgrades that we need to take. I'm going to head off for a moment and I'll think about that while I'm away. Okay, we return. Now, I have some options here. None of them are the options I actually want to be taking. One thing I could do is just gamble and go forward as I am now. This has the advantage that if a store has shields in them, we can get them immediately by selling the Charge 2. The downside of doing this is if we fight a strong ship with 2 shields early on, we could just die. So that's certainly something that is possible, but not ideal. What I'd love to do is get to weapons 6 and then bring the flak online and go glaive flak. And doing that after pre-cloaking will destroy most enemies, and that would buy us time to get our shields up, to get scrap to buy shields and or hacking. Unfortunately, we're well off because our first two sectors were so bad on scrap. We can't really do that. We can't even afford level 6 weapons, and even if we could, we'd then be 40 scrap behind. So we need another about, we could probably do it with one power bar. We can make it work by moving the Zoltan around. But even so, we're about 40, 50 scrap short of what we actually need to do that. And we kind of need to make a decision now. Now, in terms of our pathing in this sector, let's see, this reveals 2 jumps, this reveals 1, that reveals 3. Our preferable path is probably like that and that. Now, I'm concerned about going to fights because, as mentioned, the glaive beam doesn't do that well against enemies with 2 shields. Unfortunately, we don't really have a way to get around that problem. We can't use the glaive beam in one of these other 2 weapons. One option we have here is to go weapons 5. Then we could use glaive beam for like the first shot and then maybe switch to flak charge 2. It also gives us a damage buffer. So that is one potential option. It also, we want to upgrade our weapons eventually anyway, so it's usually not a terrible idea to upgrade your weapons, even just as a buffer. It's just a matter of, is that the best thing you can do with your scrap? Is there an opportunity cost that it could be imposed by doing that? And in this case, the answer to that is very much yes. If we spend 50 scrap now, we can sell the charge 2 to get up to 80 scrap. We'd still be able to buy hacking, but we would take ourselves below where we would be able to buy shields. And we would need probably at least 2 fights to get the scrap back to put ourselves back in that position, and we may not actually be able to win 2 fights. And we, if there's a store like there or there, we might not have the time to get 2 fights. However, I do feel like it's too dangerous to just advance as we are. If I was going to advance as we are, I would go to this beacon first and skip any fight that was there and just pray that one of these 3 is a store. That would be like a holding maneuver. The problem is getting shields right now is not really, if we've got shields without upgrading our weapons, that's not too much of an advantage. We still have the problem glaive beam alone won't work that well against, like, if we could get shields and get flak and charge 2, we could just be like an ordinary gunship. That is definitely a workable option. We'd just be an ordinary gunship with early cloaking, and early cloaking 3. That is definitely a viable option. But shields with glaive beam, we're too vulnerable to scratch damage from fast missiles. I think we have to do this. Yeah, we take that. Do we go here, or do we just go here to see stuff? This sees this top beacon as well. Even if it's a store and we don't go to it, it means we know that there is a store there, which, frankly, at this point, I feel like we'd have to go to any store to try to get hacking. Hacking would make us actually safe enough to just win fights in this sector. One moment. Okay, we're back. Do I want to go here then? I think we want to go here. And then probably there. It's very dangerous jumping to a fight. I really hope that they still only have 1 shield bubble, because that is a possibility for this time of the game. They do. Unfortunately, they also have really dangerous weapons and hacking. Find out what they're going to hack first. Oh, and they're running away. Great. Okay, they've hacked my cloak. Depending on how long that hack goes on for, it may not be long enough to stop me from pre-cloaking. Okay, it isn't. Good. Now, the downside is we can't disable all 3 of these weapons. We can only disable 2 of them, or potentially only 1 of them. We might only take down the ion. But what can we do? We have to shoot. We have to stop them from taking stuff out. If we hit now, we're going to do 2 damage. I'd ideally like to leave them with just a heavy ion and take down the lasers. The only way I can think to try to achieve that would be to let them fire the lasers first and then fire. And that's kind of backwards. We're doing the same thing as if we just left the damn things up. Oh, cool. We actually did take down the weapons we wanted. Here, I'm going to switch to these two. They can't dodge right now. Oh, I can't switch to these two because I don't actually have enough power. Ah! Can I move you to here and then out? Yeah, there we go. And now I can run those two. I could actually run that guy out because we've hit the hacking, so it's down. Okay, good. They just hit an empty room. Cool. That stuff is all down. You go to oxygen now so I can actually breathe. I could grind weapon skill here by firing the charge 2 over and over again until they got their piloting back, but that would not be a good idea. I'm just going to end this fight. Yeah, we got 14 scrap for that nonsense. I may actually need to go back to... Okay, we don't have a store to go to. I may need to go back to venting my O2 down. In fact, I do have to go back to venting my O2 down because we want to smart target. We may even need to go back to doing micropause nonsense against certain enemies because we might need to actively cloak certain shots instead of pre-cloaking if we are sure we can't do a one-shot. Like there, they only had one shield, so we were still relatively okay. Jump to here. That spots a lot. Good, free stuff. That's exactly what we wanted. I mean, we could get our weapons up here, but we don't have enough power. I think we want to take like one more fight, and the one to go to is probably this one, because that sees like half the remaining sector. I really hope there isn't stuff back here, because I don't want to take that route. That might trap me in an asteroid field or something. On the other hand, I could like take all 3 of these fights to make more scrap, which is a relevant consideration. But if we do that, we're kind of putting ourselves in a situation where we have to get weapons up, because we can't possibly take 3 fights. We're going here. We just have to try to find a store. Okay, this fight is safe. The mind control makes it a little dangerous. If they mind control my weapons guy, it's quite bad. But we should be able to... We'll one-shot them with the glade beam. Okay, they didn't mind control my weapons guy. Good. So we can pre-cloak this. And one glade beam shot is enough to just take them completely out. And hopefully we get a good drop, or just a double scrap reward. Double scrap reward is fine. We desperately need more scrap. You go there so we can actually breathe. Yep. That nearly went off, but nearly doesn't count. Cool, we got a double reward and a thing that we will very definitely sell. And we've spotted a store. So, let's go to the store right now before we make any decisions about spending our scrap. Okay, they have hacking. Since they have hacking, we're going to want to keep our glade beam for quite some time. We definitely sell that. That's just a no-brainer. And we want to definitely buy the... Is there any way we can get hacking and shields? I don't think we can. Not even by selling long-range scanners, which we would do if we had to. But we would need 205 scrap. I think we'd need to sell charge long-range scanners and flak to do that, and that's too much. We buy hacking. I think we also want to sell the charge too. We can't use these 3 weapons together. Like, it'd be nice to keep this to get weapon training, but that's like a minor issue. What's more important is the scrap that we get for selling this, we can get hacking up to level 2 right away and buy some more power. So we're going to do that. Hacking, 2 more power. Now we can pre-cloak at the beginning of battles, hack shields, and with that we can just wreck almost every ship that we come across. Unfortunately, we've jumped away from a bunch of fights we would like to take now. And whichever path that we go, we're forced into these sort of narrow bits where, like, if any of these are low power battles, for example, that would be extremely bad. Or if any of them are, I mean, things in pulsars can't be nebulas or solar flares or such, but low power battle is dangerous. Alright, so if we go this way, we could be forced, like, into this path. And again, those ships could be, those beacons could be dangerous. So we might end up having to jump out early. How many jumps do we have? We have either 6 or 5. I would not want to risk 6. Unless we went like here, 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 here. Actually, no, we couldn't do that anyway. Let's see. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 is possible, but like there's 3 different ones where there could be asteroid fields. We could go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 and out. I'm gonna buy 3 more of that as well. What we really want next is to just get a bit more power and get our weapons up to 6. You know, flak, glaive beam, and long pre-cloak and a hack will just destroy everything. It's just a matter of us not getting screwed over. So let's wander around. This isn't really a great jump. We have to reject. We can't afford. Oh, for God's sake. That's just another store. I don't really want more stores now. I really need to make more scrap. And the layout has just been appalling for allowing me to make scrap. I guess we go here and maybe then go to the store, or maybe we could go here, exit, and yeah, that's the way to go. There, exit, take a few more jumps, and then backtrack to the exit. I hate doing that, but you know, doing things you hate doing is kind of the name of the game when you're playing Stealth B. This ship only has 1 shield bubble, but we still need to hack them. We want to make sure that that shield bubble is down so that the glaive beam kills on 1 shot, especially since they're running away. We don't necessarily need 2 levels of hacking on this, but I'm just going to do it anyway. Now the time to hack on this goes for 7 seconds. We at least want to wait until cloaking is out. Hack now. I think that's right. I may have actually hacked early there. Not quite. We really just need more fights like that for a while. You know, enough to get weapon 6, to get a little bit more power, and then save 125 scrap. If we do that, we win the game. Like, we could win the game if we got if a fairy descended from the sky and gave us shields right now, we would basically just win the game. But that doesn't happen in FTL, unfortunately. You can't get shield units for free. So, although that's kind of good for people who want to do shieldless runs. But, this does mean we need to keep fighting until we can get enough scrap to make ourselves safe. Should I just get another power bar? Then I can run my engines more readily. A nice thing you can do on this ship, and it would have been nice to be able to do this earlier. It would also be really nice if the ship started with more power. If you can get your evade up to 25%, what that does is it puts both piloting and engines on the smart targeting list. So if this ship started with level 3 engines and you could somehow power that, it would be like 1,000,000 times safer because the chance of taking a hit on weapons would be significantly lowered. It's probably not a terrible strategy on this ship sometimes. If you got a free reactor upgrade from a quest early to just get an engines upgrade and stick it there. As it is, like 15, getting the engines up to 3 is cheaper than getting cloaking 3, but it also, you can't power it. So it's no use doing that unless you get a free power bar. Do I want to buy more power here? Nah, let's hold. Actually, yes, because there's no point in us getting our weapons up until we get more power. Like, with this, we could maybe make it work, but with the power we had prior to taking that upgrade, it was never going to happen. Acquire but their specialty, we wouldn't take that. That's more expensive than getting our sensors all the way up normally. It's normally only 40 scrap. So, yeah. Do I want to take these jumps just in case there's anything at them? There's a regular jump that occurs in nebulas that has a blue option for long-range scanners, which we, of course, have. We can maybe go here, here, and there. I'm not sure, though. I think I can go here and here and then decide if I want to take a third jump. Aid the civilian ship, please. Okay, well this will work too. No offensive drones, good. No hacking, nothing like that, just something we can pre-cloak. We just need to be wary of this guy and where he might board. I'm actually going to run this guy into doors right away. Ideally, they just don't get to shoot at me at all, so it doesn't matter that we don't have a pilot. You go in there so I can steal the power back. Okay, you've gone into piloting anyway, so I'll go and fight you there. You go here. Hack now. Gotcha. Nice. We can sell that for 20 plus scrap. We could even potentially use it if there's an enemy that has heavy shielding, or that, say, our glaive beam damages significantly but doesn't kill. We might be able to switch to that to get the final 2 or 3 damage we might need. Should I buy one more power bar here and then save for weapon 6, or should I just save for weapon 6? If I had weapon 6 right now, I would need to do nonsense with the Zoltan. Like, if I had weapon 6 with this power, like, I'd have to do this. I mean, potentially I could do that because I wouldn't necessarily always need to hack. But on the other hand, you kind of want to hack when you have no shields and you're in significant danger. I mean, we could get one by turning oxygen off and the other by, like, running the Zoltan to there, but that's quite tricky. Let's just do this. Now we definitely save 75 scrap to get our weapons up to use the flak. Damn it, they have double offensive drones. This is very, very bad. Like, the actual weapons these guys have are laughable, but they have double drones. We're going to watch these for a moment. We might save our hack because we might just need to hack the drones and run away. I'd love to just pre-cloak this, but there's too much risk of us taking a hit. Admittedly, our weapons are damage buffered, so we can take 1 hit on weapons. We just can't take 2. What are you aiming at? Of course, we don't want to take hits on cloaking either. Okay, that hits nothing relevant. You look like you're aiming at doors. You could be aiming at weapons, though. Okay, you're aiming at an empty room. Are you aiming at hacking? I don't want to have a hit on hacking either because that allows me to get through shields. I need to cloak this now. Yeah, we just need to cloak this. I mean, the odds that they're going to come out of that when we come out of cloak that they're going to hit my weapons twice rapidly is extremely small. Let's hack now. I think that's the right time. Start my glaive beam up there. That might pull one of the drones down. We just made it. We got 19 scrap for that incredibly dangerous fight. The thing is, if you were a normal ship and you had 2 shield bubbles, you'd be pretty safe in that fight. Not 100%, but you'd be pretty safe. I'm pretty sure we can go here safely, but I'm not going to do it. It probably doesn't have anything there, and we don't have much fuel. Let's just get out. We just need a couple of fights. I don't like either of these options. Because boarding is very bad. As mentioned, anything that boards and goes into our weapons puts us in a position where we don't necessarily kill right off. However, I think Mantis Homeworld is a safer option here. Lanius bombers would be extremely bad for us, because they might not only board us, but they might mind control our weapons guy. And how do we stop our weapons getting smashed? We just don't. So I think we need to go Mantis Homeworlds. We just need to win like a couple of fights. Unfortunately, we can't really go to that one. Well, I mean, we could. I don't feel like it's worth. The other downside to going to this Mantis sector is Mantis sectors often have hostile things, you know, suns, asteroid fields, that kind of thing. And we can't take any of those. This exit is way in the up top right, which is good. There's only 2 jumps that go to it, though, so we need to be wary of that. We need to scout those reasonably early so we know if either of them are safe to go to. If we're unlucky, they might both be unsafe. We can give them 5 missiles and get scrap. Cool, that's very worth it. The store is too early. We can't get shields. I think we need to go here and just buy fuel, though. We're down to 4 fuel. We can hold off on shields for a while. Like, I'd love to get shields. I'd also love to get that other flak. Should I do it? I feel like this is a trap. I mean, you could take that and go flak, and get rid of the glade beam. But, then you don't one-shot things. And when you have no shields, you really want to one-shot stuff. Getting another flak also takes us a long way away, even though it makes us stronger in the long term. It takes us a long way away from getting the flak we already have online. So we can't do that. Let's buy all this fuel here. Let's also get some repairs. Okay, this is a possible double scrap reward. We pre-cloak this. Please give us double scrap. If we can get a double scrap reward, we will get enough to get the flak online, and then we will be millions times safer. Frankly, glade beam and flak on its own, we can win the game with that. We don't need a second flak. And I'm not convinced, given how little scrap we've made so far, that we would ever get to Weapons 8 on this run anyway. Weapons 8 is very expensive. No, I can't run you over there yet. I need you to keep charging up the glade beam. You'll go there as soon as the glade beam fires. Damn it, they fired that. That is a problem, but ooh, we'll get you out of there. Yeah, charge lasers are dangerous to face. Nice, we got the double reward, so we're going to be able to upgrade enough to use the flak now. We won't easily be able to power it, but that will literally be a matter of 1 battle. I can't go there. Get this up. In a lot of fights, it'll be fine to just use the glaive beam, and that's just basically a double buffer. We want to scout all of these. We have to go east some way, and we want to find out which methods are safe. So let's go here. Okay, there's nothing at this beacon. We will just vent these guys out. No, don't go into sensors. Come and fight me in the medbay, please. Yeah, come on in. You can fight me in the medbay. We win this easily. Go and fix my engines. Let's take a look while we're waiting. We can't take both of these fights. I think we go there. And the other alternative is to try to go topside to get more jumps in, but there's a big risk if we go there. I mean, I suppose we have enough time. If we go here and it turns out this beacon, which we'd have to jump through, is a hostile beacon, we could go back. But on the other hand, if we just go here, we see quite a lot. There's many different places we could go. We ideally go up to there, hit a bunch of jumps, and then go east towards the exit. I think that's the way to go. Okay, it's Kazak. We pre-cloak Kazak and glaive beam the crap out of him. We don't have the prereqs. And it would be foolish to even try. We could theoretically take down like the laser and let him fire bombs at us to get dodges. But let's not do that. Let's just kill this fool. God damn it. Our hack is now mistimed because they've gone into our weapons room. We might end up having to do that after all. Oh no, we had just enough time. Good. You get out of there, bye Kazak. Kill this fool. The medbay on this ship sucks, by the way. Just to add to the list of things that suck about this ship. The only way you can get more than 2 people into there is to do a really tedious micro. I know it would be stunning to have it revealed that in order to do normal things on Stealth B, you have to do really tedious micro, but that is in fact how it is. Do you want to go distress there? Nah, this sees more. More chance to find more fights. Jettison, we could lose crew there. Losing our weapons person in particular would be devastating. We want one more power, then we want to save for shields. This is the sort of ship that if we had normal weapon setup, we might try to crew kill because they're, you know, a double crew boarding ship, but we're not going to do that. We're just going to kill them. Free cloak. If nothing else, the flak gives me weapons XP slightly faster because in this entire run so far, we've fired our weapons 21 times. So we're nowhere near even getting, you know, 10% faster. Let's just see. Okay, good. You're not going there, so we can immediately engage the hack. Fire the flak. Glaive beam, go burr. You get the fuck out of there. What are our scrap totals so far? Yeah, our scrap totals so far have been pathetic. We're probably going to end up jumping out of this sector early, as we've had to do numerous times, because we've had to be so careful and exacting in our pathing. We also just need to keep an eye on our drones, by the way, because if we run low on drones, we can't hack, and then we're a million times less safe. Like, we could potentially try doing fights like this by using, flak to take the shields down, but if they miss, they've got a mini beam, we'll be in big trouble. So let's just not do that. Let's just keep hacking. We can maybe start trying to do fights like that once we get shields. Nice, we're winning. Okay, so these are safe to go to. They don't necessarily have anything at them, which is unfortunate. But at least they don't have, like, asteroids or something like that. There might be fights. But there aren't. Offer our assistance. I think we have a blue option from our Zoltan here. Yes, we do. Actually, which of these is better? I have the blue options on this so rarely, let alone have both of them, that I don't know which of them is actually preferable. I think the Zoltan is like an O2 upgrade or something fucking random. I'd just rather have scrap. Federation Terraforming Team C12. Oh, they're basically the same, I think. Yeah, they might be... It might give you an O2 upgrade, it might give you a fight against a pirate ship, or it might give you a annoying chain of events that results in you getting 15 to 25 scrap. Send the Zoltan, yeah, we get a O2 upgrade. Do we have enough time to go there? I'm pretty sure the answer to that is no. It's very close, but I'm not risking it. You don't dive with this ship. That would be insane. At least not until you get shields. We need to buy fuel, even though it takes us further away from getting cloaking. Oh god, we have it forced into rebel controlled. Rebel controlled means auto assault ships. Auto assault ships have offensive drones. And there's not very many stores in rebel sectors either, so this is not really very good. But we don't have a choice. We have to go here. If we had been able to get that cheap piloting thing earlier, this would be great to go to. But there's a couple of options. I mean, all fights that could be available at this are skippable. There are 4 different things this could be. The best would be boarding with a boarding event that gives you scrap. There's the manually search event that we would not be able to take. There's a fight at a fuel depot, which we wouldn't be able to take, and there's a fight against an auto scout we wouldn't be able to take. I feel like there's too many options that we can't take there. Like, there's a 1 in 4 chance that we make scrap here for half a beacon, but whatever, let's just go forward. I want to be able to spot more stuff. Damn it. Fucking double beam drone ship. With these weapons and hacking. We need to hold off to see what they're hacking. Like, if they hack our cloak, we're in huge trouble. Let's find out what they are hacking. Please hack like my doors. I think that's aimed at sensors or medbay, which is fine. Yeah, that's sensors. That could be aimed at my hack, though, and that's a huge problem. We can't let them hit my hacking. We need to have my hack up to get through their shields. I mean, admittedly, we have the flak. That might get through their shield. But I really just need to be able to hack. So we have to cloak right away, and we have to somehow hope that when our cloak runs out, that these beam drones don't rip us to shreds. And we have literally no control over it at all. It's purely random. Look at how close that came to hitting my weapons. Well, they got the heavy laser shot off, but like, whatever. We're gonna kill these guys with this shot. Take a bunch of damage in the process. See if we can dodge, maybe. So yeah, we took like 12 damage in that, and there's some things on fire, so we could potentially take more. Our sensors are on fire, our doors are on fire. We need to get our doors off. You know, our doors fixed first of all, then we can vent everything. We are so close to being safe. Like, if we had a shield unit in that fight, we'd have been so much safer, even if we were only running level 1 shields. And we are very close to being able to get that. I would even vaguely consider selling the flak to get it if I had to, because I could just win by hacking shields and using the light beam. I think that room must be on fire, because none of my systems are, but something is still on fire. Also could be one of these rooms, so I guess let's just vent that until the flames go out. There we go. Go to sensors, you go there. Yeah, we took maybe, was it about 8 or 9 damage? I can't tell. We took a lot of damage in that fight. Yeah, it looks like about 8 or 9. Oh, yeah, let's send a second person down there to help out, I guess. No store, however, that does show a lot. I mean, we could go here to see this beacon. Like, we could theoretically get in a situation where we have to sell long-range scanners for shields, and that's also worth doing. I think we need to go here and then there. Nothing there. Okay, no fights down there. Oh, there's a distress thing. I'm not taking it. I want to get forward and see more. This sees everything, so we go there. Well, not everything, but like it sees the first half of the sector. It's another fucking disruptor! Reject. Execute him on the spot. Okay. Fortunately, it's a disruptor that doesn't have hacking and doesn't have offensive drones, so this is not nearly as dangerous as it could be. We still have to shield hack, and we have to get a drone through these two defensive drones, but that's not too bad. Does our glaive beam one-shot this ship? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. Yeah, it does. If we do that shot, we one-shot. It might be at the expense of them getting to shoot both of these, but it's fine. Hack. Nope, they didn't get to shoot them. Good. Okay, we now have enough. We need a store now. If we can get shields, we are very safe. Unfortunately, we have to go through this jump and this jump. This entire bit of the sector is a giant trap. And if either of those are hostile beacons, we could just die at them. And we've been, you know, we've been doing very well throughout this run. We have to go here to see because one of these could be the store. Actually, we'll go here because then we might as well go somewhere we can earn scrap if we have to do that. But then we have to go topside. Let's just check. If that's the store, can we get there and still be out in time? Let's see, it would be it would be there, one of these two, and then up. We have 3 jumps before that, don't we? Yeah, easily. We've literally fought disruptors or riggers with every single encounter this entire sector. What are you aiming at? It doesn't look like you're aiming at anything important here. So we'll let that go by. Damn it, they shot one of my drones down because I wasn't sure where the hacking drone was. Yeah, they're shooting at my medbay, I don't care about that. What are you aiming at? Looks like not anything important. Yeah, doors. Don't care about that. I think we can cloak now. Yep, cloak now. Once again, our glade beam will one-shot this ship. We actually, our hack timing is a little bit thrown off. I'm used to hacking when the cloak runs out, but of course, we hacked later than normal here. Do I just kill with the glade beam? Because I don't necessarily want to fire the flak shot if it breaks my cloak earlier. Okay, well, it's broken anyway, so... We could take this, but no, I want more scrap. We'll accept 1 damage in order to get probably like 10-20 more scrap. Yeah, we got 12 more scrap by doing that. I really need a store just to repair, amongst other things. This forced Rebel 5 has been very bad, even though we've made good scrap. Like, Rebel sectors are one of the highest scrap sectors in the game. Well, we can't go to either of those, they're both hostile. So now we just have to pray that we don't get screwed over by the RNG here. We might be forced, like the only stores could be down there, and what if that beacon is hostile? We can't go to that either. So we just need to really pray that this sector, which has many, many hostile beacons at it, doesn't chuck a hostile beacon directly in our way. I'm actually going to upgrade my engines at this point, because if we do get forced into one, I'll hold off on that. I will probably do that, but I want to be able to increase my odds of being able to run away if we do get forced into a hostile beacon. We can't sell drone parts, we need all of them. Oh good. That gives me 5 drone parts. And there's the store, thank God. And that is really good because that means we know neither of those is a hostile beacon. Shields. Show me shields. Hooray, we got shields. I'd like to buy the backup battery, but I think I just need to repair. Let's see, I could get that much repair. That's not enough, let's just get more repair. Okay, so we'll go to this quest. We probably don't want to turn this in. I think we want to just keep the drones. But, you know, we have to go here, so... No, we can lose crew at that. Just keep the damn drones. Now we're going to go here and go down. We'd like to get shields 4 absolutely as soon as possible, and we need a bunch more power. Every damn fight in this sector is like a rigger or a disruptor, like all of them. Damn it. Wow, they got 2 fast shots through immediately. I think I cloak now. Sadly, we have to use another drone. There we go. Hack. Got him. Give me 2 more power bars right now. That way we can actually run the shields without having to run less of everything else than we were running prior to us getting shields. Can we get both of these fights? I'm not sure that we can. We can, actually. Cool. As long as nothing runs away, and there shouldn't be a risk of that happening, because we can just blade beam the crap out of everything. Like, if we... Like, these guys are trying to flee, but ultimately... we just need to find... Oh, no, they're not hacking. They can't do that. So we can actually pre-cloak this. Because we'll glaive beam... although we won't one-shot this ship, we'll glaive beam, start on the piloting, and that removes their piloting. Does 3 points. There's no way they'll be able to continue fleeing. And we'll take down probably both these weapons as well. So we didn't one-shot them because our flak shots all missed, but whatever, they're harmless. We'll just get more weapon skill out of this. We'll save our cloak for if they ever manage to get their guys back. I fired my flak a bit too early there, but whatever. 16 scrap for that quite annoying fight. I was going to say dangerous, but actually it wasn't that dangerous. We're down to 4 fuel. Storage cache, we very definitely want to take this fight. Unfortunately, they have a long cloak. We're gonna need to cloak this actively. Now, the really frustrating thing here is they're going to get to cloak twice. This is the first enemy we fought that has cloaking. They're going to get to cloak twice before our glaive beam ever fires. Do we need to hack weapons here? I think we hack weapons here. We active cloak in response to their first barrage. We then hack weapons. That'll mean that we can stop them from firing. Yeah, we cloak right now. And we can rely on the flak to take their... We rely on the flak to take their shields down, but we need to wait until after they cloak twice. This stops them charging their weapons. I mean, our glaive beam would do damage even if all 3 of our flak shots miss, because they only have 2 shield bubbles. But we obviously want it to do a little bit more than just, yeah, they get to cloak right here. So let's hack those weapons down. Gotcha. Nasty fight there. Would have been nice to get a double reward for it, but we didn't. Let's get our shields up. We also didn't get any fuel. Choir. I want to take this. We're still on 3 crew and we're about to go into Sector 6. Let's get the cheap door upgrade. Do we take another rebel sector? It's much better in terms of scrap. And really right now we need scrap. We also of course need to not run out of fuel. And going to NG does give us more options. NG homeworld sectors are often quite bad in my experience. They can just be really, really empty of stuff. We don't have an NG to do the quest. Not that I would want to do the NG homeworld quest anyway. The NG homeworld quest sucks. This is a gamble, but we're going rebel. We just need scrap to get repairs to get upgrades, and to not run out of fuel. Those are the only 2 things we need at this point, and we should be fine. Let's go here first. We want to spot a store so we can buy fuel. Of course, this does mean that there's going to be more of these, you know, fucking rigger and disruptor ships that we fought. But we survived last sector, and we didn't even have shields then, for most of the sector anyway. I was just seeing whether they were going to send over like an ion intruder drone or something, but they're not, so let's pre-cloak. We should be able to do this with no damage as long as we time everything correctly. Hack now. Yeah, they got 1 heavy laser shot off on us. It's fine. There's the store. We have to go there to buy fuel. Not very much fuel, unfortunately, but hey. We'll take what we can get. Let's get that up. Fuck off! I hate it when that happens. Well, double offensive drone ship. We're gonna pre-cloak. I think we can run 2 shields here if we do some tricksy stuff. Yeah, we do that. We'll run you out. That should save us from the drones, and the long cloak should save us from the weapons. I don't think we one-shot this ship because we only hit 3 rooms, but we can take out like most of the weapons, especially if we can like hit either of those rooms with the flak. Hack now, you get back in there. Cool, we're fine there. There's a marginal chance of us taking damage right now, but it's not very high. They would need to line these shots up very, very well. Might be able to get a few dodges here. In the entire run, by the way, we've gained 3 dodges. 4 now. So we blew those guys up. Yeah, let's do that. Unfortunately, we didn't get any fuel, and we've got a full sector reveal, but there's literally no stores for the rest of this sector. We need 2 more power bars, so we can more easily do this. What do we want to get now? I think mostly now we want to get hacking up in case we see an early ship with 4 shield bubbles. So we'll do that. We're gonna go here, 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 and then up. as long as we don't run out of fuel, which of course is very dangerous. If we get any surrender offers for any amount of fuel whatsoever, we have to take them. Of course, we won't get it from this because this is an auto scout. Pre-cloak. If we can find a ship that's quite weak, we can maybe, especially if we get our shields up, we can grind dodges against it, but... Glaive beam like that. Like, that's great, but you didn't give me any fuel. I want to go here because this is in a nebula, so even if we get no fuel from it, at least we'll be turning our distress beacon on in a nebula where any fleet will be halved. So we have a third weapon to go on to if we actually get the scrap for it. I'm not convinced we ever get weapons 8 in this run. But firstly, we have to just not die to running out of fuel. Okay. We should be safe to pre-cloak this. The Ion 2 is a little dangerous because it could theoretically get through all of our shields before we fire out of the cloak, but it's not too likely. Start there, that way it takes piloting up, my flak shots are guaranteed to hit. We're starting to run low on drones as well, so we might start needing to do fights where we don't hack, which isn't good. Now, give me fuel, you stupid bastard. Okay, we got some fuel, so we're not going to just immediately run out. And we have 3 more fights. At least one of those should give us fuel. Do this now for better ability to run away. We obviously can't just get it up to do 100% cloak because our dodge is crap. I think we can do this fight without having to hack. In fact, is it worth trying to put... If we could get a hull breach on their weapons, we could grind dodges against this ship. I'm gonna glaive beam first, just to take the burst 3 out. But then I'm gonna try to hull breach that. I'm gonna hull breach it in just enough to like leave this up, so it's a little delicate. Cloak. Also, I should be doing this. Okay, there's 3 points of damage on that. If I wait for about 40 seconds, they'll get 1 point of repair on it, and then there's no risk. I don't want to completely destroy the system and then put a breach on it with the last one, because then they won't have any weapons to fire at me. I normally hate grinding dodges against an enemy that only has 1 laser, but I'm making an exception here. I will actually fire here, because it's likely they'll dodge some of my stuff anyway, yeah. Okay, damn it, we didn't get a breach, so we need to wait a little while. But, I mean, while we're waiting, we're getting dodges anyway, so... And, like, we could potentially get all skill in this. Even if we breached it, like, and took the single laser down, we could at least get full weapon skill from it, so it wouldn't be the end of the world. I should actually, let's fire this, and then fire that, and then when our weapons are charged up again, enough time should have passed. I should have been doing that throughout. That would be a good way to time when they've got repairs, whatever. And we missed. Yes, got it. Okay. So we can train all 3 of our main skills in this fight. We could even get shields all the way up if we wanted to, but I'm not going to do that. So we will auto-fire the flak. That will never hurt them because of their shields, and we will let them shoot the laser at me, and we'll get dodges, and I will meet you back when we have max skill. And we got it. So max of everything. Thanks to our whole laser. It didn't take as long as I was expecting it to. We reached a point where I wasn't getting any dodges for it. For God's sake, we didn't get any fuel. We reached a point where we weren't getting any dodges for ages, so I went and flipped my TV on and turned something on to watch while that was going on, and then we dodged 6 shots in a row. Go here. We can't quite go 100%. It was kind of tempting to get my engines up, but it's more important to, with my next bit of scrap, be able to get hacking up to 3 and get more power so that I can drain any level of shields. Do I one-shot this shit? I'm not convinced that I do. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15. We one-shot if every single one of our flags hits. But I'm not convinced that that's going to happen, so we're not going to pre-cloak this. We're going to cloak the missile. Actively. Unfortunately, we lose some dogs. Not much we can do about that. Cloak. Okay, good. They didn't hit. Beam. We have to take that. Like, we have so little fuel, we just need to take any surrender offer that includes fuel right now. Let's do this. Now, if something shows up that has the next level of shield, we can get rid of it. Next up, we want to get engines to 4 and another power bar so that we can have 100% evade when we cloak. And then we probably want to save for some. We'd like to get weapons to 8 to use this whole laser. I'm not convinced we'll ever do that. We're very vulnerable against boarders since we still only have 3 crew. I'd like to get mind control sometime in Sector 7. But yeah, I don't know how on earth we're going to afford everything that we need. We might just have to do a very scrambly phase 3. Find out what they're hacking first and then respond to that. Okay, they're hacking something that doesn't really matter. So that means we can pre-cloak now. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. Okay, we can one-shot this. Because our glide beam can hit 5 rooms. We can actually change our hack timing as well now that we have level 3 hacking in the last one. Got a bit more room for error. We have to take that as well. You know, it's not just the fuel, it's also the 2 drones, which we're low on both of them. So now suddenly we're much better off. So we've lost a bit of scrap, but that should mean we at least get to Sector 8. There should should be able to take both of these weapons down if we recloak. So we're going to do that. So we'll put the glade beams, do that, do 3 damage. We can fire the flak in it as well. These 2 drones shouldn't do anything to us. And we'll take one of them down anyway, but those 2 drones shouldn't do anything to us. With just asteroids to punish it. Glade beam first, take their... Oh wow, they actually died. So, they're down. 45 scrap, very good. We have at least one more jump here, don't we? There's a pretty good chance we want to dive in this sector. Let's think about this. It could go like here, here, although the pulsar's a bit hinky. I think I'm going to not go to the pulsar. Like, we've done well to get ourselves into a winnable position. We just want to not have something happen. Like a pulsar and ion intruder drone into weapons could kill us. So in that case, let's not dive. Let's go here and then the exit. It's frustrating because we really need the scrap. Cloaking again, we can take the flak 2 out, and then even if our shots don't, even if our weapon doesn't like one-shot them, it doesn't matter that much. We aren't taking that. We didn't quite one-shot them. Our flak missed one of the shots there, but they're completely screwed. We might even kill them with a flak on its own here. Yep. Got our drone back, good. We're gonna hold our scrap just until we see whether there's like an immediate store in the next sector. We can definitely give them 15 missiles, cool. The repair is not really necessary, but the free reactor is nice. We're not using those missiles for anything, so... Fire at 7. Probably not the sector I would have chosen. I would have preferred like civilian or... Well, Rebel Stronghold would have been even better. Okay, we have 2 stores right away here, so now I'm glad that we didn't spend our scrap. We want mind control. Do we really need it? We might need to just buy more crew. Go here first. We could theoretically buy one of these bombs, and that would save us needing to go to weapons 8. We'd only need to go to weapons 7. Like, the small bomb could be useful for killing crew in phase 1. Let's first of all do this. We definitely need to do that. So it's now a question of, do I want to grab one of these other guys? If so, I'd want to grab a Mantis. If we grab a Mantis, we can't get the bomb even by selling the hull laser. We just can't do it. I think we need to do it anyway. Let's guess, does this give us a backup weapons guy? We could put the human on shields or on doors, but no. We get a repair Mantis, hooray. I'd really like to be able to buy more hacking drones here as well, but what can you do? Oh wow, the pathing through this sucks as well. Maybe we can get some scrap at some of these and get more stuff at that store. We'll see. There's nothing there. So we want to hit, ideally we want to hit both of these, go store, and then down to this nebula. Is there enough space for that? No, there isn't. Well, go for the fight that's not in a nebula. Maybe we can do that without having to hack. No, we're not surrendering to slavers. Unfortunately, I think we do need to hack this. They have a defensive drone too, and their weapons are really good. We pre-cloak this. Good news is we definitely one-shot this, because we can hit 5 rooms, do 15 damage, just with the beam. Do we take this? If we take it, we definitely can't do anything useful at the store. Odds of us doing anything useful at the store are fairly minimal anyway. But actually, I feel like we just need more. We need scrap more than crew now. I wish that that had happened before the store. I would have taken it. But yeah, 65 scrap. Like, that's really, really good. If there is crew here, we could potentially buy one that's more useful than a human. How you taunt me, game. Yeah, very, very sad. There's no way we can do the pre-igniter. We could buy the halberd beam and go halberd glaive. But we would need to get weapons to 7. Can we do that? We would need 90 plus 65, which is 155. We could sell these 2 weapons. That's not enough, though. Buy 1 drone, get our engines up. We're just going like this. Those are our last stores unless we find a store in Sector 8, so we don't have a backup battery, which is very unusual. This fight's a little annoying because of the Zoltan shield. But we do have 100% evade now. So do a big long cloak. Blade beam will get this down. So, do we hack weapons or shields here? Shields is more secure, but we will take some missiles while we're doing that. We're gonna hack weapons. I probably should have hacked before they fired that to try to manipulate them into depowering the missile, but whatever, we'll be able to cloak the missile. Take all that down. Our cloak will be back up now. So when they fire this, we just do a long cloak, get around it. Let's wait until my cloak actually ends, because that buys my hack time to recharge. I'd really like to get to weapons 8 by the end of this sector, but I've no idea whether we can actually manage it. No, they die to that shot. We get basically nothing. Do that. Can we take 2 fights here? Yeah, let's take 2 fights. We're definitely not going Shields 8 in this run. There's no way we'll ever be able to afford that. Our first enemy with 4 shield bubbles, I think. Let's cloak. Hack. Of course, our timing on the hack is being thrown off a bit from what I'm used to because we actually have skill, and the glade beam therefore charges faster. I need to get the timing down right because it's quite important for phase 1 of the flagship. Because with maximum weapon skill, that charges in exactly 20 seconds, which is also the precise timing of their second cloak. So if you get it perfect, you can get the beam off as they cloak, and if you do that, it's fine. You do actually still hit them. And in phase 1 and 2, that will completely disable their missile artillery. But we need to make sure the hack goes off in time. We're going to save up scrap now. If we get enough to get to weapons 8, we will do that. But if we don't, we want to stay at weapon 6 to save scrap. We don't want to spend 90 scrap in a buffer. We don't have enough money for that. Pre-cloak. So about now, we hack when the weapon charge is about level with the B. It's a little bit early, but it lasts long enough that it doesn't matter, so. Against the flagship, I'd rather be early than late. We have to reject that. Oh crap, they still have their missile. That's annoying. We mind control you. Well, we might get missiled here. We got missiled here. It's fine, we'll kill them with our second volley. We're finally at a stage where just taking any hits at all is not... Like, the amount of damage we've taken in this is not really that high. I've definitely had runs where we took more damage than this. It's just... any damage at all on this ship is so disastrous for most of the run. You know, the only fight where we really took a lot of damage was that stupid disruptor with hacking and double beam drones when we had no shields. We took about 10 damage in that fight. Other than that, we've not really taken that much. One, two, three. We also need to worry about running out of fuel. Do we have 3 before that nebula gets taken over? Yes, we do. Cool. So we brave the pulsar. I think we need to save our cloak just in case, because if our weapons get ionized on the first... Thankfully they didn't. We'll cloak this. Unfortunately we don't have 100% evade because our piloting did get ionized, but we did dodge both of them. Cool. Hack. Let's go like this, that way we can completely take out piloting and then our flak is guaranteed to hit. Nope. Everything's down. Let's swap to these 2 weapons, they're faster. They have no shields. This is a little bit perilous because our med bay is ionized, but it will be back soon. No, I only need 2 of them for this. You go back to where it wanted you. Got him. I think if we win one more fight, we'll have enough scrap to go to weapons 8. That will also help us in this sector in terms of not having to necessarily use hacking drones in every single fight. Which is definitely a problem. We're down to 5. Let's get out of here. Do we want to try to do this without engines or without hacking? I think we want to try doing it without engines. It's frustrating, but what can I do? With cloaking, they still shouldn't be able to hurt us. This will be a practice for the flagship flight because their second cloak will also go off at 20 seconds. Are you kidding? I guess I should have just cloaked that. Well, it's fine. If we draw our beam here, it should go off at the precise instant that their cloak does. Yep. Now they can't cloak. Now we just blow them up. Okay, we didn't. Oh yeah, we did blow them up anyway, despite the rock resists. Nice. Yeah, let's do that. Distress there. Cool, we got a blue option from our glaive beam. That's the first time we've got one of those in the entire run. Admittedly, that's the only event that gives it, so... Yeah, I think we're just going shield 6 and then getting buffer upgrades and then going to the flagship fight as we are. And we are perfectly capable of winning it. We're not that strong, but we're strong enough. Like, the glaive beam is legitimately a good late game weapon. It's just most of the game is not played in the late game. Most of it is played in the early game. We're going to reject any slave offers. We just need scrap. We need scrap more than we need crew. What are you hacking? Fortunately, every enemy that we've fought with hacking in this run has not hacked something important. Like, a hack on weapons and cloaking is very, very bad. We are going to hack this because they've got like double missile weapons. Let's just make sure we win this. That hack is probably a bit late. No, it isn't. Nope. Yeah, damn it, they get their missile off then. Ooh, they cleverly fired this and then switched over to their bomb. That's smart play from the AI. Not smart enough that it's going to make a difference, we still beat them. So yeah, we got... In this sector, we got something like 130 scrap by rejecting 2 crew members. Now, we did lose some of it because we had to buy this Mantis. Obviously, if the things had been reversed and we got that offer early in the sector before we bought the Mantis, we would have taken it. But we didn't. There's nothing at the exit because it's in a nebula. Is it worth going to there for the off chance that it's something? We'll have to do a dive fight. The danger with a dive fight is just if we have to spend a drone. Let's just get out of here. We want to make sure we don't run out of hacking drones, so hitting these repair stations is critical. We want to go here, then even if one of them gets taken over. As long as they don't both get taken over, we won't be screwed over. Let's do this. We want more power. Cloak. Is this timing correct? Yeah, that's pretty good. We didn't one-shot, but we've disabled everything that's dangerous. second glaive beam shot will kill them because they can't dodge. Ideally, we want to hit both of these. Let's go repair and then try to hit the lower one as long as it doesn't get immediately taken over. And it didn't. Good. Now we just need to get to the base. 1, 2, 3. Yeah, we can get there in 4 if necessary. Let's do this, let's do this, let's do this, and then we'll do that actually. Something like that is probably better. Ugh, double missiles. Do we one-shot this? I think at this point we don't necessarily want to pre-cloak because, frankly, we can 100% evade things, so it's not as essential for us to pre-cloak to avoid having things hit bad systems. There we go. I only need 2 shields for this. Okay, this is an ordinary boarding drone. We'll go and hold that room. So we will active cloak when these 2 missiles are in the air. Ideally, we would cloak at the same time as this burst 2. But I think it's going to take too long. Yeah, that missile is about to hit us, so we have to cloak now. Put up the 3rd shield bubble for when this goes off. I actually should have only done a level 2 cloak. Hack on their shields, that was a mistake, but whatever. We got him anyway. We only got 32 scrap, unfortunately. Let's just get more power. We want to max the reactor out, considering we don't even have backup battery, and our odds of finding it are about nil unless we somehow spot a store. I suppose we could have held our scrap there just in case we did. Well, we'll go here because if we don't spot a store there, we're pretty much not spotting one. And we can go here, 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 and get to the base. This ship is not too dangerous. Those are my internal doors. Vent you. Can I run you in there to stop you from breaking in and removing my evade? Since the answer is yes, we'll do that. If I cloak now, I can remove the burst, the flak 2, because I can do, well, I'll do at least 3 to that room, and I'll fire the flak and the hull laser, which will do between, like, 1 to 5 more. It could be 0 with insane luck, but I don't think we should plan around that happening. So I'm going to pre-cloak now. Put you in there, and then use the Zoltan power to make you 2 fight each other. And then when that runs out, we just move the Zoltan to a different room. We want to get the glaive beam off first, because it's going to hit engines. We didn't one-shot, but it doesn't matter. You there. Go and stand next to our new friend. Seems to have been a misunderstanding. Guess he might have just been a bit touchy. Got him. One, two. If we go here, this could get taken over and turned into a hostile beacon. I don't really want to deal with that, so let's hold our scrap just in case this is the store. We're going to go here, see if that's the store. If it isn't, which it probably isn't. It's not, it's a fight. We're going to do this and this. We'd like to upgrade our engines as well, just in case we get like hacked on our piloter engines in phase 1. Take one more fight. No, we can fight this guy. We're not pre-cloaking here. We want to active cloak that missile. Time now. I'm not used to where the keys are on this keyboard, and therefore I keep going to hit V, which is auto fire, when I mean to hit C, which is cloaking. No. Blow them up. We didn't get a double reward, unfortunately, but we got more scrap. Get engines up. Well, off to the base. We'll fight phase 1. We probably aren't going to get very many crew kills throughout, which is a typical issue with this ship. But we might get 1 or 2 with our mind control. And like we can just DPS race phase 3. So, what are you hacking? That's not too bad, actually. We just need to cloak their first missile surge, and we can do that readily enough. Shields. We don't even need to do more than the level 1 cloak on this, because we just need to cloak the missiles. We once again are pressing the wrong key here. Cloak that. We want to start the glade beam in piloting. Actually, it's going to be too late regardless, so we need to we actually need to fire the flak and the hull laser in advance of the glade beam so that they get there. The glade beam can go through the cloak, but our other weapons can't. We got that just in time. So they're almost dead. Unfortunately, this stops us from being able to mind control, which you want to be able to mind control right after you take the missiles down. But you can't do that with the glade beam, unless you have an auto reloader. Mind control in shields. There's already lots of people in there. Reasonable chance we can just knock this back offline. Yep. Fire into there. We nearly took damage there, but we didn't. That guy died. I wish I could somehow crew kill Sam here, but we can't. Anything we could do does too much hull damage, so. Well, phase 1 is down, and we killed one crew and took no damage. So that's, you know, a decent result. I'd like to save my scrap for phase 3. I want my doors all the way up. And we should get 17 scrap from this. We also have potentially some scrap here, which we are definitely going to go looking for. In this phase, well, we'll go look at that bottom beacon first, but we're going to want to open all of our internal doors for the boarding drone. Nothing there, unfortunately. We once again really only want level 1 cloak for this. Or maybe level 2. I don't know whether we actually stop the missile. Because our glade beam is so slow, I think they actually get the missiles off. So we might need to do level 3 cloak to cloak both the missile and the first drone surge. The fortunate thing is they shouldn't get 2 drone surges off because the glade beam will just do too much damage. Especially since I'll fire my other weapons at shields. And we don't have to worry about their cloak this time because they don't have it. Internal doors open. Hack shields. Kind of tempting to just mind control right away since there's 2 people in that room. I'm actually going to do that. Mind control right away, make them start fighting each other. We'll lock the doors. They'll run a bunch of people in there. Okay, not as many as I would have liked, but whatever. We've locked the doors now. You're in there. That's my mind control system. I might as well go defend that. My Mantis will lose this fight over time, but we can at least delay things long enough that we get the benefit of the whole mind control. We want to hack now. Get some more evade. Unfortunately, those all went off. Yeah, we need to do a long cloak here, unfortunately, to dodge everything. Put the hull laser and the flak on that room. They've now fired, so we can't break our cloak by using them. So let's cloak and glade beam. We could have killed that guy if more of our shots had landed, but they didn't. Now we just need to let you out of here. We might just need to let them smash our mind control. Not much I can do about that. Whatever, we killed one of them. And we will kill with our second volley. We definitely are not hanging around for them to get more drone surges. We actually got tagged by the beam there because they managed to hit us a bunch of times anyway. Whoa. I think I opened an internal door there by mistake. Whatever. We got tagged for 1 damage by the halberd beam. And now comes the tricky part. Because our anti-boarding crew is not good. But we do have mind control counter. We're going to preemptively vent a whole bunch of rooms on this ship. In particular, we want to preemptively vent hacking. We do not want hacking getting taken down. We're definitely preemptively venting like this area. Venting these rooms as well. We only need level 1 in mind control, which is good. Redirect hacking power to engines right now because we can't hack through the Zolt shield. We're going to preemptively vent all of this stuff. And these. Actually, we might want to leave a couple of... We'll leave sensors and maybe this room as well. Like if they board into sensors, I'm quite happy for them to break that room. We'll leave the med bay as well, actually. For much the same reason. I don't really care that much if they board and break those systems. I just want to save, the stuff that's critical for my offense. We will also chase after them so we can do runaway strats if needed. But I don't know that that will be. So yeah, go after them here so we can maybe do abduction strats. I'd like to see where they're boarding first. I'm going to take a moment before I undo the mind control, because I don't mind if you go out there, and now I'm going to undo the mind control. And like, you can try to get towards me, you might batter in there to get to where my mantis is, but that's fine. Yeah, actually I think we don't need to do runaway strats. They don't actually have that many crew left. Like, it's going to be a little tricky. Wow, they dodged like fucking everything. They dodged 4 of my 5 shots so far. Does that mean I should just do runaway strats? Let them board with a second lot, and then, yeah, fuck it, we're gonna do that. Shields down. Cloak. This guy's gonna actually suffocate. Let's keep charging our FTL. We'll easily dodge this. Cut that out. They'll board with these 2. And then we run away. Yeah, like, they've also boarded into my weapons, which is quite bad, so multiple reasons here to just get out. Get my guys in here. They now only have 2 boarders left, and we can once again just vent the rooms like we had them there. And maybe this time they won't dodge 4 of our first 5 shots. Vent these rooms again. We'll also like selectively close the internal doors depending on where they jump into. Come at me. I'm once again going to see where these guys board before undoing the mind control. Yeah, that's fine. We'll just undo it. Yeah, you can run around up there. I don't care. Okay, they didn't dodge all of them this time, so that's something. That's about to roll hit detection when it passes my shield bubble, but when I do that, I obviously hit cloak like a second too late there because it hit my mind control. I hit my mind control anyway. Whatever. It even set a fire, but that's going to go out because there's no O2 in there. I did not intend to be firing those shots. Shit. Well, I might get tagged by a power surge now because that actually reduced my timing. I only intended to fire the glade beam. Oh yeah, maybe we should put our shields back up. Fortunately, the cloak did last long enough there. Vent to there. My med bay is down, but it doesn't matter. These two are going to get vented long before they ever reach anyone. We can hack right now. They'll get one more missile surge off. But, like, they can't take my glade beam down, even if they triple hit missiles, which they cannot do. The hit on O2 is sort of annoying, but since it's vented already, it's completely fine. That fire will go out. We can actually guarantee taking the missiles down, because if we do this, our glaive beam will take all of their dodge out. Yep, that's down, and those hit that. And these fires can burn out. Okay, they burned out my sensors, whatever. We don't even need to wait for the glade beam. I think we can kill here with flak and hull laser. Cloak. Yep, got him. So, we have one stealth B. It has not completely ruined the run, like the streak, like it did last time. I really wish that had happened on the last streak, because like this streak, yeah, we're 6 in, and we would have been 7 in on the last one, but the last one we had cleared almost all of the worst ships in the game, whereas in this one we've mostly got really good ships until the last 2 runs. Not a particularly high score. Stealth B is almost never very high scoring, because even though you have long-range scanners, you have to be so cautious at the beginning of the run that you just can't take full advantage of it. And like in our case, our first couple of sectors were terrible, and it wasn't even caused by me needing to be cautious. They were just really bad sectors. Yeah, 96 beacons explored is really low for me. I had to jump out several sectors early because there was no way I could explore. I think that might be the lowest I've had in my last, like, 80 plus games. I mean, I've had some higher scoring runs on this ship, but it's, of the 3 stealth ships, I get my lowest scores on this one by far. But I don't care. I've beaten Stealth B, it's out of the way, and I don't need to worry about it. So, let's see what we roll next. We've got all 3 stealth ships out of the way already. They've just all come up early. 3, 2, 1, and go. Roxy, that's a much more normal and less annoying ship. So, we will play Roxy next time. I hope you enjoyed the extreme pain and annoyance of Stealth B. And I will see you next time. Bye for now.